Imagine the ultimate luxury escape. We're talking high-end glamping near Washington's Mount Baker. Picture a geodesic dome, not some flimsy tent, but a 700 square foot personal palace with a private sauna, a jacuzzi and a colossal 15-foot skylight, truly putting the glam into glamping. Yep. 1.2 million was the amount that was raised on IndieGoGo, which was 12,196% above the $10,000 goal, which, by the way, was hit in only 15 minutes. It's fair to say that everybody was excited about the vision that was the Oculis Lodge in Mount Baker, Washington, USA. And simply, the crowd went wild for this IndieGoGo campaign, which helped make it the biggest hotel crowdfunding campaign ever on IndieGoGo. The founder, Yuri Benoisten, promised the world 35 domes, and obviously people bought into his idea, quite literally. The money was secured in record time, with over $1 million injected, 35 domes promised and a massive media spotlight. You have to ask, but why did it fail though? And how could it possibly fail with so much money injected into the project over its initial $10,000 goal? Well, let me tell you, the ending was so much worse than you're probably expecting.
I wanna take you for a ride.
Welcome to Kickscammers, the show where we look at cursed Kickstarters, icky IndieGoGos and the grimness that you find on GoFundMe. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about the Oculus, an absolutely horrendous campaign that's going to make you wish that you stayed at, well, pretty much any other hotel. So, let's not mess about. Hit the subscribe, like, and if you're on mobile, hype the video to see firsthand how your interactions actually help the video for free. And let's get into IndieGoGo's hotel scam. Welcome to Slope's Game Room. The LEGO licensed platforming adventure games are some of the best of their genre, well worth playing to relive some of the greatest stories of all time in a fun, typical LEGO way. And thankfully every game you see on the screen is less than just a few pounds, dollars, euros, whatever, all thanks to longtime supporter Instant Gaming. Yep, turns out my audience likes it when I suggest cheap indie game suggestions, so what I've done is I've gathered together a few bundles of newer indie games that you may not know about, which, let's be honest, were highly influenced by some of the classics that I love, all of which are less than £3 per title. For fans of retro Doom-styled games, there's Postal Brain Damage, Power Slave Exhumed, Hyper-Violent and Treepang 2. Here's Karate Survivor, Blasphemous, Streets of Rage 4 and Final Vendetta for the side-scrolling brawler fans. More of a Zelda-like fan? Then why not check out games like The Spirit and the Mouse, The Plucky Squire, I'm currently working my way through that one right now, Death's Door or Lil Gator Game. There really is so much to choose from on this site. I'll explain again. All you gotta do is click that link down below or scan the QR code you see on the screen, go to the search bar on the website, don't type anything in, just hit the enter button and then change the amount to whatever you want, and what you'll end up finding is an endless amount of games for less than a pack of Milky Ways. Of course, newer games are also on the site too, and a massive shout out to everybody that's been pre-ordering games like Resident Evil Requiem and Reanimal using my link below. Thank you guys so much for your support, but for now, let's not hang about, let's get back to the video. The campaign reads, experience the ultimate luxury lodging in the Cascade Mountains. Now look, let's be honest, I'm not really the camping type. That is unless I'm going to a festival and, getting on the beers. Yeah, that's me. Regardless, glamping? I don't know, for me it just feels like someone's taken a hotel room out of a hotel and then plopped it in the woods. Just go and get a hotel and stop pretending that you're camping or you're in a hotel. Regardless, all this aside, it's easy to see how popular glamping has become, especially after the pandemic. And with these CGI stills found on the campaign page, it's hard to deny that for the right sort of person, this was absolute paradise. If it existed, that is, which obviously it didn't. The campaign reads: find serenity and relaxation along with the ultimate luxury. This 700 square foot domes near Mount Baker in Washington State offers an experience that is perfect for vacationers who want to enjoy nature without sacrificing comfort. For its unique interior featuring amenities like a comfortable bed, personal kitchen and bathroom, 15-foot skylight perfect for stargazing at night, to its outdoor patio complete with a dining table and deck hammock, private sauna and jacuzzi. It's the perfect place to reconnect with yourself, nature and your loved ones. So if you're looking for a gateway to switch off and reconnect back with nature, Oculis Lodge is the perfect place for it. Plan your next vacation escape today. Now, once again, obviously nothing in this campaign was real as of the creation of the campaign at least. From the CGI renders to the stock photos used to show these amenities, when you backed this project you were doing so in the hopes that you would be among the first to stay in one of these dome things when they are finished. And in all fairness, the guy behind this campaign actually had quite a lot of experience building these dome-shaped hotels over in Costa Rica. And the reviews for that accommodation are, well, mostly good, so at least he can give reassurance that they have done this before. At $359 instead of $545 for a single night and $1,907 instead of $3,815 for a week, no less than 1,752 backers jumped on board to pre-book their stay to take advantage of these, let's be honest, rather large discounts. But very quickly, these luxury dreams soon hit the concrete wall of reality. During the campaign's life, it was easy to see just how popular the campaign was going to be. The founder had already purchased the 2.6-acre property for a reported $225,000 before it even started. And then, after the money was raised in December of 2022, a month later in January of 2023, backers got a now privatized video from a now privatized update where Yuri went into detail showing off his plans, his drilling for a well to bring water to the location, and confirmation that the first dome will be built in April/May, yes, only 3 to 4 months later. Even though an absurd amount of red tape was put on this project by the county, he still believed he could get this whole thing done in that short space of time. Now, the interesting thing about this is that according to Castalia Daily News, these permits were actually put in several years beforehand and were still yet to be approved. It's the sort of headache that anybody doing a similar sort of DIY project has had to overcome before they can get the ball rolling. Like, for instance, making sure they have a water source. Yep, as stated, he built the well, so you can check that one off the list now. But you've also got land disturbance permits, commercial building permits. What about sewage, road access and wetlands? All of these things are, yes, obviously a pain, but they're needed before going ahead with something like this. The only difference is, in this instance, he didn't have to get it done for him and a handful of investors. He had the money of 1,752 people and their friends and family, all of which wanted to stay on this still not complete property. As you can imagine, these permits were hard to get. And because of that, construction was stalled. Community opposition in Washington state was fierce, which resulted in that expected opening date of April or May of 2023 just simply passing by. Yet again in a now deleted update, seriously I hate IndieGoGo sometimes, in order to give something back to backers, it's revealed that Yuri has started pumping money into, oh god, wait for it, the Metaverse. Oh boy. His plan was to create a 3D platform so that supporters can create pine tree avatars, whatever they are, and track the progress of this and future developments by the company. Instantly, the pretty much already uneasy backers completely flipped. They went mental at this update. They backed this thing and all they've got so far is a hole in the ground. And now the money's being sent on what is essentially a stupid VR project? Do you really think the glamping type who have been forced to stay at home due to obvious world issues want to pretend they're now glamping in VR, parading around as a pine tree? For observers of this whole charade, it moved from being a bit of a disappointment to an absolute joke. Commenters responded, "I didn't pay $1,500 to be a pine tree. I paid for a sauna and a skylight. Where are the permits? Stop building a metaverse and start building the domes." By this point, all of the backers on this campaign turned this thing into a massive witch hunt, looking into everything they could regarding the guy behind this campaign, and then in response, he went hardcore on the defensive. For instance, he weirdly took issue with backers saying that there were delays when supposedly he never officially specified a completion date. What's this say on your campaign page, mate? Looks like a date to me. It was discovered early by the Cascade Daily News site when speaking with the county's spokesperson that the permit put forward wasn't for 35 domes, it was for 1. And although a future permit was put forward for the next 6 domes, once again, he failed to provide evidence that the properties would have access to enough public water for these little igloos, which is understandably a non-negotiable requirement if you ask me. And because he failed to respond within the 180-day window that the county put forward to him, that application eventually expired. Basically, the entire thing just looked like a massive, massive clown show. However, we did eventually get 1 dome. Not 35, just 1 dome. Not 35, 1. This was built in the summer of 2024 and was very much the prototype completed so that a few selected IndieGoGo backers were able to experience it. And again, in all fairness, the reviews came back not quite as bad as you may think. Sure, there was absolutely no water pressure, and sure the hot tub didn't work at all, and sure the people that lived nearby had loose dogs that sounded vicious and loud, and no, I'm not exaggerating. In fact, when looking at the Google Street View, you can even see the dogs in question chasing the Google Street car up the muddy road. I mean, come on, look at all of this. How the hell is this anything like those renders? Regardless, inside, I mean, look, it kinda looked alright. One reviewer stated that the end result wasn't too far from the renderings, whilst another complained about the privacy, stating that a house was directly adjacent and could look directly into the private patio, which was right behind the hot tub. People, everyone that didn't get to stay there saw this and were not happy with the results, and then obviously the refunds came in thick and fast, and supposedly some refunds were given, but eventually they had to stop so he could complete the project. Reminder, he only needed 10k to get this thing done. And because of all of this, the campaign owner needed even more money. Enter the second crowdfunding campaign over on the site Small Change, a first for this channel, a site that seems far more investor focused than your average Kickstarter type website, but still it had that minimum goal requirement before funds could get taken out. In this instance, the minimum goal was $150,000, and strangely enough, this site also had a maximum goal too, which in this instance was another $1.2 million, that according to the body of the campaign is really the true minimum that they will need to get this project underway. Remind me again how any of this would have ever been achievable with that original $10,000 goal? Obviously, the second campaign didn't hit its goal. I mean, obviously it didn't hit its goal. Who in their right mind would look at this, see that with the first 1.2 million, all they've done is built 1 dome, but you can trust us with the second 1.2 million? As news continued to spread regarding the failure of this whole thing, the campaign owner went on a rampage, and if the posts from a subreddit for the local city are to be believed, Copyright strikes and complaints came in thick and fast, which, as you may have guessed, caused this whole thing to get even more attention. The Streisand effect was in full swing. In a now deleted IndieGoGo update, he posted that unfortunately, social media has become a breeding ground for misinformation about this project, fueled by sensationalism and negative narratives from the media. This misinformation has impeded our progress and caused delays. By April 2025, the inevitable happened. The project officially shut down. The reason? The founder claimed that the smear campaign actively deterred new investors and forced him to withdraw that second campaign. In his eyes, there was nothing left that he could possibly do. In his opinion, this was the final blow. No matter what he did, he would constantly be under attack if he continued with this project. Eventually, the campaign owner had no choice but to put the one unit up for sale for a whopping $725,000, and unsurprisingly, no doubt due to his history and his constant struggle to get permits for the remaining 34 promised domes, that price was never met, and instead it went for $448,730. And yep, you can indeed pay to stay here yourself for $800 for 2 nights via Airbnb. And the reviews are, from what I can tell, all top tier. So it looks like they could have fixed all these issues after all. So yeah, that's the story of the failed IndieGoGo hotel scam. But was it really a scam? Or was it just mismanaged? Was it really all media over exaggerations that killed the project? Or was it lies from day one? Well, if you ask me, the answer's pretty clear. And if you ask the backers that on average spent $697 a piece, again, the answer is clear, as Facebook groups have now been set up to give each other advice on how to legally take down the owner, who they all collectively believe is a complete 100% bona fide scammer. Hey there guys, thanks for checking out the video. This is the part of the video where I give a massive shout out to all of my Patreons, all of my YouTube members, all of the names you see down here. Yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. Yeah, let's give those shout outs to Stephen Hafner, Livestream, Paisley Simpson, Thomas Coyote Baxter, Dina81, Kematura Villarreal, Derekuda, Enraged Gecko, Akatimo84, Ian Quell, Mind of the Unsane, XZX, Andrew Dalton, Brian Perez, British Video Game Nerd, Chevmatic, Chris aka Brackmang, Conrad Constantine, Action Saxon, Dina, Insidious Bliss, Jay is Manchild, Jabba Al Aiden, Jeff Mianowski, John Yaskatus, Livestream, Mass Replay, sorry, Mike Fallon, Nicholas Burtner, Paul Float, Richard Alderjick, Robert Ramsey, Ryan Burford, Shadow Dragon, Swift Justice Peterson, The Sneaky Ferret, Vitas Varnes, and Ye Old Ham Burglar. Thank you guys so much. Really enjoyed this one. This is a good deep dive. The next video is already recorded. Gonna go get editing that bad boy. And I'm gonna go do that right now. So much love to you guys. Thanks so much for your support. And until next time, this is DJ Slope signing out. And hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.